Hello once again out there to all my fellow Planet Coaster fans. Welcome back to Rebaville. If this is the first time you're catching one of these videos, Rebaville is my Dollywood-esque kind of park where I was thinking, you know, what other like big country star could have their own theme park? And Reba McEntire was the first one to come to mind, so I've been kind of had this park in my thoughts for so long. Even before Planet Coaster 2 even came out. Like, I was thinking about doing this with Planet Coaster 1, and then they announced Planet Coaster 2, and then I just had to get to a point where I was ready to do it. But we've done about 5 or 6 episodes so far of this. The biggest attraction, of course, being our River Rapids, which, as you can see here, has gone through a few changes. Not been able to do a whole lot of work on the park, so I just basically was just trying to get something done that would be noteworthy, and I think I've done a few kind of small noteworthy things. Now, of course, any progress at all is a good thing, so, you know, let's just kind of jump into some of the things I've been working on here lately. So, first thing I did this week when I jumped back into the park was I came over here and I immediately started working on our drop and the turnaround up at the top. So let's take a look at that real quick. As you can see here, I've made kind of a I don't know what you would call this, kind of a, I just kind of enhanced the flume that the Rapids ride kind of goes through right over here. Very much representative of Grizzly River Falls or Grizzly River Run at Disneyland, and I really like how this came out. I think it did very well. This is made using a bunch of the, let me kind of jump in here so I can show you. So it's made out of the thick wooden beams and a bunch of planks. These the driftwood planks. And then, as you can see here, I've kind of gave out the planks some different colors. I also put in some of the water jet small special effects in there to make it look like it's kind of leaking. I think that's a great effect right there. I've done the drop here. I've made wider by essentially just kind of going in here. I've covered up most of it with these log beams right here. We gave it some new rock walls, which I'm working around on and trying to get something kind of put together with those. I think it came out all right. I think I like the smaller rocks much bigger than, say, the bigger rocks like what I've done over here. I think each has their own kind of I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They each have their own style that works in certain areas, but I definitely think I'm kind of preferring using the smaller rocks over here. So might be some changes coming soon to the rest of the ride, but yeah. Now for the water flowing down on the sides, what this is, let me see if I can grab one here real quick. No. I wonder why. Oh, because I'm apparently on that. All right, let me try now. Ah, there we go. So these are just the rotational moving platforms, and then I've used the water pieces, the water scenery, which is in here. If you type in water and then go down right here. So these water shapes, I think I used these, the 2-meter corners. So I think kind of worked out pretty good. Let me get that back down there. No, there we go. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I think it worked out well. This was not easy. There's a lot of that in here. So can't wait for the frames per second on this park to just start dropping very soon. There's a lot of special effects, a lot of like stuff I've done on this ride. A lot of little pieces, a lot of scenery. So it's essentially the same thing I did over here to make our falls over here, which you will notice I've made some changes over here too. So I'm gonna jump from over there. We'll head back over there in a second, but I want to come over here to this. So last episode I showed you kind of what I've done with this area here, where I kind of cut it out, and I've made the rapids very custom using the some mods and other stuff like that. So I also went in and I fixed the rest of the track up as well. I wasn't happy with this section right here because when you come out of here, originally I had a pool underneath of here, and then this was actual water, but the pool wasn't working because in order to get, when you got to the end of it, I had to get the track out of the water somehow, out of the pool. So I had to make it go up. I really didn't like that at all. So I've gone back in and I fixed all of this up, and this was not easy. I will do one of my how-to videos on how I did this soon. I've got some other videos I kind of want to make with that series first, but I think this looks a lot better, a lot more custom. Over here we have like the actual like ride here before it goes off on its own little custom work down through here. So I also did the turnaround right here by the entrance. I also fixed that, made some custom rapids. I don't know, maybe it's a little too much, but I think it's all right. So I also fixed this section down here as well. I went back over this again, and now I can actually let me do this. Let me turn all the filters off and just do nature filters. So I'm going to grab all of these and I'll pull these up here so you guys can see this. So as you can see here, I've went in and I've put a lot more water in here, and what that's going to let me do is I can take out some of the rocks and move them closer to the edge over this way, so I can make this area right here larger and do some other stuff within here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side as well. Eventually I'm going to have it kind of, it's going to come up, it's going to kind of curve down and around. I just kind of want to do some S curves in here with, you know, kind of some more interesting things going on down in here, other than just, oh, it comes out of a cave, it goes straight until it gets to the lift hill right there. But coming back up to this thing though, let's see, what was it I wanted to show you guys? Oh yeah, over here. So I've also done some work here, and I've added these waterfalls coming off of the side of the mountain. So very much kind of, it's like a bigger version of what I did down here on this thing, but it's like 10 times bigger. And what I kind of think would look really good here is if we had some kind of viewing area, like right here in this area, so you can kind of come over here and watch the falls, and then watch the people come around after they come down the drop. They'll come around this way. I'm probably going to have maybe the exit come out over here somewhere, which, I mean, I haven't done an entrance or an exit for the ride itself yet. Kind of holding off until I figure out exactly what I want to do with that. But very much the same thing I did with the drop right here, as well as over there. It's just the rotational platforms to make the waterfalls. Did some rock work. Did put some of these posts and beams and stuff in there too. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like, oh, the dam has broken or something. I don't know. It looks good, and that's really all that matters. I'm kind of thought about also doing the custom track mod here as well around this area, but I don't think I'm gonna do that up here. I think it's fine the way it is. We'll cover it up, do some work up there. But yeah, things are definitely coming together for the ride itself. Using the custom, so what this is it's actually using a lift hill track piece in order to do the custom water. Let me come over here to this. Let me see if I can. It's gonna be kind of hard to get to. There we go. So if we edit the track and I come over here and I go forward, you guys can kind of see here. So it's the track mod, which no limits track mod, I should say, which lets me have options for every single like track piece that is in a game can be used on anything. Some of these don't quite work very well, but what we're using for the invisible track is essentially this right here, the friction wheel lift, and that also lets me set a speed that it goes through the thing as well, so we can kind of speed things up. This is essentially, it's really going to help me because of this reason. When I came up here, I've redone this section here, and to do that, so originally the track came down through here and it came around and just made a turn, and then it went into the drop. So I've lengthened this out just a little bit in here, and as soon as I did that, I started having complaints from the guests who are saying the ride is too long, which I find hilarious because they're not actually even able to ride it yet, and yet they're complaining that it's too long. You know, maybe wait until you ride it before you make any complaints, people. Okay? Okay. But anyway, yeah, so that's allows me to set the speed, so I can kind of set the speed a little faster. And I was kind of thinking about doing it up here for that reason only, but I don't know. But I've got these set to 6 miles an hour, which is faster than, it's 1 mile per hour faster than what the ride normally goes. I've looked at this and it goes about 5 miles an hour through this section, but then it hits these and it's more like, you know, 6. So 1 mile per hour faster. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it helps. I wish I could get it set where I could use different speeds in different sections, but where it's all one long piece, it's considering it all one lift hill and therefore one speed. So if I set it down here or set it down here or up here, it's all going to be the same to wherever I set it. So that kind of sucks. Alright, and then I want to turn your attention over here to near the lift hill. So I've been kind of working around on this. So a while back ago when I was talking about the ride and this area, I was talking about how I kind of would like to get maybe a path or something that goes under the lift hill and kind of comes up. So I've been kind of working on that, and I think it's coming out pretty good. It's not done yet, but I've got the beginning of something. So I've got a tunnel that's going to start down here, so our guests can go into the cave, go underneath the lift hill, and then come out over here. Originally I wanted this to kind of be maybe a little more over here, and I still might move that down that way. I just might, I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm kind of using this old Western arch piece right here, which I always kind of really liked in Planet Coaster 1. So when they gave us the Western setback, you know, this was included in it, and kind of thought, you know, that makes them really cool, like an entrance to a cave. I think it looks better here than what it does up there. Threw a wagon down here, some cargo stuff just kind of in the way. I don't have really anything done down here, but I have been doing some land work over here, some landscaping and just kind of getting things ready. So I'm kind of thinking we're going to have a path that kind of goes around this way. Maybe we'll have some stuff up in here that's maybe a little higher up, and then we have a path that goes kind of down here along the river's edge. Like I said, we're going to redo this a little bit right here, kind of an S shape down in here. So I've got the path that's going to come down around the river's edge and then down in here. So we'll probably do some work over this way. We'll probably flatten this out down here, just like kind of like so. So yeah, just kind of start flattening that out and have the path keep going that way into a brand new area that I think I'm going to put over here. I've got some ideas for doing some work with, like, I don't know, like a fire on the mountain kind of ride. I've got an idea for a ride. I don't want to say too much for it yet, but the entire area, I want to kind of think about like Silver Dollar City and how they have fire in the hole, and then they have like the whole thing just devoted to firefighters, and like Dollywood has Fire Chaser Express. So I'm kind of thinking about making kind of an area kind of like that, and the idea hit me from a ride that I really want to do, and then I just have to figure out where I'm going to put it. So I was kind of working on this here. Some ideas popped in my head about this would look really good, like if I did a roller coaster. I think some like having the roller coaster kind of interact maybe with the river rapids up here, maybe somewhere right around the edge, would look kind of good. But then I had to figure out like how am I going to get the ride up there. So I guess this is a question for you, dear viewers. What do you think about having that? So I was kind of thinking about maybe having this, maybe going up a little bit, and then having like a little valley that goes in between here, and maybe having a bridge that goes across. So we could build like a new area up in here. But I also have right here. So this is naturally built into this map. And I thought about maybe trying to use this in some way. Because I think it's a really neat kind of landscaping detail they have in here. And I think I kind of want to use it and maybe kind of continue it into maybe a river or something. I don't know, kind of connect these two up somehow. Or just do something completely different with it. I don't really know yet. But I definitely think the fire area, that's what I'm going to call it for now until we come up with a name for it. But the fire chasing area will be over in here. Is kind of what I'm kind of thinking here. But do I want to have it like have a higher elevation over here with like a bridge going across to a whole area up in here, or do I want to kind of keep everything down here in some way? But I really think like a fire watch tower would look really good kind of in the background of our river rapids back in there. And then of course we could also have a roller coaster and stuff up in here too. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But let me know what you guys think about this idea. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a great idea? Should I use the upper layer for the area, or do you think that might be just too much on trying to get people to get to it? I also thought about maybe trying to make some sort of path from here, maybe have it go across and then maybe go up and around this way, so there'll be a path up here. But I also am thinking I kind of want to have a train that kind of interacts with the ride in some way too. So I may save that for a train, and then somehow or another just maybe keep the fire stuff down in here on the bottom layer, and then have the train just be up here some way. I don't know. Could be kind of a really cool area right here for a train bridge to go across to get over that way. Maybe not too far up, maybe just like right around right there where it's kind of flat. Have a train bridge that comes from over here, go across, watch the train go through. And then of course you'll have your new themed area down here in Rebaville. I think that would be kind of neat. Let's see, is there anything else to talk about for this episode? Ooh, I don't know. I can't. Oh, I do have some new fencing. So I took out the old fencing, and I've added some new fencing in here, which I think looks pretty good. I think it looks much better than the old fencing we had here. Let me know what you guys think about that. And then, oh yeah, the next question is the queue line. So this is also something I'm kind of hoping to get some ideas from you guys on about how it should work. So currently what I'm kind of thinking is maybe taking the exit and having it, instead of coming off this side, we make it come off this side, and then have it kind of go around, and then maybe we have like a little bridge, maybe right here or something, that you walk over as you're coming off. So you get off and you come over here, you walk up, you go over the track down into this little viewing area over here. I'm pretty sure that's probably what I'm going to do for the exit. But the queue line itself, so I think I want to do a priority pass line in here as well. So I could do that by swapping the exit to the other side, which will open up 2 paths down this way. And then we could do, I don't know, maybe I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, honestly. But I'm thinking maybe have it come up. We could just use all of this area down in here just for the queue line. But I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. I have a feeling this is going to have a long line. And I think I prefer the idea of snaking the queue line around the actual ride itself somehow. So we could maybe bring it up and over in here somewhere. Maybe have it go over top of the ride. Maybe have it, you know, I don't know. Because that would kind of mess with this. And I really like these little viewing areas right here. So I don't really want to mess with that too much. If anything, just kind of maybe have it come over here. But yeah, so I definitely think the entrance to the queue line should maybe be right around in here somewhere. But I don't know. What do you guys think? How should I do the queue line for our river rapids, which still has no name yet? I haven't really been thinking too much about a name just yet. I just kind of want to fix up a lot of stuff that I'm kind of working on here. So again, you know, like I said, guys, not a whole lot really going on. I didn't really get much of a chance to kind of work on anything. I'm starting to get a little bit of a creative block because I really wasn't sure where I was going to go next here in Rebaville. I still need to fix the fancy sign. That will be my next how I did it video. We're going to make a brand new sign the same way that I made the front sign up here for Rebaville and the one for the water tower. So I'm going to show you how I did that in detail. So hopefully some of you guys can learn how to do that as well and make better signs for your parks. Let's see, anything else? I gotta fix this, I gotta fix this. Lots of things still to go on the river rapids for sure. There's so much to do, and this is such a huge undertaking of a ride to make it look really good and to make it work well and to make it as realistic as I can possibly get the ride. But let's see, one last thought, anything? Let's see, I've talked about pretty much everything, I think. But yeah, I've been having a bit of a creative block, so I didn't get a whole lot done really. And then when I actually sat down, I don't know, I think this is a lot. I think right here, you know, just getting the little overpass, I guess you could call that, the little bridge here that goes over the drop. Getting that done, that was kind of a task that, you know, was on my list to get done, on my to-do list, and I think it worked out really well. This was on my to-do list as well. Nothing that really took me a long time to do, but still things that need to be done nonetheless. That I think everything is looking really good. I don't know where to go next, and that's my biggest thing. Like, I think it's time to add another ride into the park, and I just don't really know. Like, I've got an idea for a ride, but it's a water ride, and we're doing a water ride, so I don't know if I want to do 2 water rides in a row. But yeah, the themed area over here, which I think is going to be a good area for our firefighter area, will be over here, themed land. I think I'm going to have the country fair area is going to be over in here in this section. So like in Dollywood, when you come into Dollywood, the country fair section is kind of over here on the right. In my park, I think we're gonna make it to the left, you know, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. Thoughts off the top of my head as I'm just kind of toying around in the park and trying to figure out where we're gonna go next. But I really don't know what rides I'm gonna add next. I've got ideas for rides, but I don't really know just yet how I'm going to incorporate them or anything like that. So always great to hear your comments, to hear what you guys are thinking about the park, where you guys see it going. You know, maybe your vision is different than my vision, but maybe your vision is better than what I'm seeing. So, you know, that's why I like to see comments and stuff. I like the conversations with you guys about, you know, theme parks in general and stuff. We're all fans of the game. We're all fans of theme parks in general. So love talking with you guys. Love hearing from you. Love getting your feedback. So leave it down below. Here is my end of day report. I think that's a sign. End of day report means end of video. Well, guys, I'm going to head out. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Again, like, it's really quick, and there's no time-lapse builds or anything for this one. I may just not do very many time-lapse stuff maybe anymore. I don't know. If you guys start to miss them, let me know. But I think we're just going to kind of come in here and just kind of do maybe, hey, this is what I've gotten done in the park, and kind of like what this episode is. But I'm going to head out of here. I've wasted enough of your guys' time. Hopefully you don't think I was wasting it, but You know, I always feel like I do. So, but I just kind of want to show off the park and things that have gotten done recently. And I know you guys really like the Rebaville episodes more so than the franchise with friends and the Lansdowne Park. Seems like the views on that one don't get very high, so you guys definitely seem to like the Rebaville Park a lot more. So I felt like I needed to come in here and do some work on that one for you guys. And hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to head out wherever you guys are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I will see you in the next video, which might be another week because this week, by the time this video comes out, it should be Monday morning. And on Wednesday, I am heading back down to Dollywood for a couple of days. So I won't have any free time this week to work on Planet Coaster stuff or videos or anything. So there might not be a video at the end of the week. You guys may have to wait until next Monday before the next one. But whenever that next video posts, I will see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you liked it, give me a big thumbs up. Appreciate that.